Hi there, this is Amelia Kramer, owner of Upwards Art in Owen Sound, Ontario, Canada, and we're going to do a demo today of Tim Holtz alcohol inks. Okay, so we're doing a demo for Tim Holtz alcohol inks. These are some of the products that we have in the store in their line. So we have 3 packs of the inks. They come in different color sets. We have a splatter brush, which is plastic on the tips, and you can splatter with it. There's some additives. So this one's pearl, this one's copper. They have all the metallics, and you can just use them straight up, or you can mix them with a few of these. An alcohol lift ink, the palette, these mini applicators, and a big blower. Okay, so let's get some of this stuff out of the way. So the alcohol inks by Tim Holtz, they are dye-based. So dye-based, they dry really quickly, but dye-based inks are not light fast. They're designed to move freely on slick surfaces, so I'm going to show on some ceramic tiles, and I'm also going to show on some Yupo paper, which is a plastic-based paper. I wouldn't use anything like a watercolor paper or anything like that. The inks are just going to absorb right into it. They are used with encaustic as well. They are flammable because it's alcohol. So if you're using them with encaustic, you really need to let them dry and then move them around. And I would be super cautious and even let them dry overnight before I hit them with a flame. You could move them around with the embossing gun or a heat gun, but again, they're flammable, so you just have to make sure that when you're in your studio that you're not using open flame when they're still wet. So we're going to, so the blending solution, which would it's not really Lift Aid, but there's some alternatives to some of these things. So you can use alcohol that you get at the drugstore. I'm going to use this one. It's a budget option. And then some applicator tools. So I'm going to use some that are just in my studio. So I have a little paintbrush, I have a foam brush, I have a whole bunch of these pan pastel soft tools. So I'm going to use some of those. I'm going to use a makeup sponge. This is actually clean. It had pigment or pan pastel on it as well. I'm going to use a straw for blowing, and I have a regular brayer, and then I have this fancy textured brayer, and I'm going to use this little bit of sea sponge. Yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Yupo paper with the inks. I'm just going to set all of my tools aside. Okay, and these, it's best to give them a little shake. The pigments do sink to the bottom a little bit, so I'm just going to shake them all up. Not sure why I'm being particular, probably just because I want to line them up so I know what colors in the wheel happen what way. Okay, so this one's called Crimson, so it's going to be quite red. And they have this lovely applicator, right? So you can get really nice lines. I'll test some other ones here. This coral, this will be a little bit pink. This is dandelion. This one is aquamarine. I picked ones that I liked, but I also picked ones that would show up well, but then also blend together. And this one's pistachio, and also have like the full, not the full color range, but a lot of their packs come in like a whole bunch of purple, like 3 purples that are lovely. So when you're looking at the packs, you can decide what ones you want to go with. Okay, and this was a sepia. So I've just drawn some lines, right? That's not very super interesting. I can take my brayer and just move them around on the Yupo. I'm gonna get, so I'm rolling off on the side. I'm not sure you can see that because I don't want them to mix too much, right? Because otherwise I'm gonna get browns everywhere. So that's kind of cool. Maybe just, that was a bad idea. Anyway, so I've got lots of lines there, and this kind of gives me a background to work with, and it's gonna dry pretty quickly. So just, and I have lots of light in this room, so I'm kind of dancing around. You can't see it on camera, but dancing around to see when the ink is actually dry. I can see all of this is matte in my light. A little bit of these are still a little bit wet, excuse me. So you can layer these. I'm gonna layer some blue. These are still a little bit wet here. I'll work down here. Right, so I'm gonna layer some blue here. And so you can see that it's separating a little bit from where the other ink was. And I'm gonna use my straw, right? This is an alternative to the blower. So with a straw, especially with kids, I poke a little hole in the straw with like either a pin tool or a safety pin or a sewing pin, so that they can't actually suck up the ink or the paint as they go. And I'm gonna put a little bit more down because as I was talking, it's already drying. So let's just add a little bit of this coral in here. So I just dropped that right on top, and we'll try this. I can also, let's come from the top this time, or switch this around. And I can put some yellow here. You can also just tilt your, if I could pick it up, tilt your paper so you get those big drips. If you want them to move faster, you would, oh, there's no lid on that. You could spray it with some alcohol, and then they'll move faster because there's more, what smells like doctor's office now. So they'll move more quickly because you've added more liquid to them. Okay, let's do some green over here. So I probably wouldn't use as many colors as I'm using right now if I were to do this for real. I'm gonna put for real in air quotes, right? You can paint with it and get more distinct lines, and they do mix, obviously. The big glob in the middle there, that's okay. And any of the wet ones, like still wet, you can pick them up and move them around. Okay, and we're just gonna wipe that off. So to clean brushes, I would use some alcohol. Anything that gets, like the brayer, I'm gonna use some alcohol as well. Water will just kind of resist this. Okay, so that's on Yupo. I'm also gonna show on some ceramic tile. So I have some tile here from, that one's a little bit dirty. I don't know what got on that. These are just from the Home Depot. You can get them at the Restore, obviously. I didn't need so many, so I probably should have gone to the Restore. Okay, so let's do just maybe 2 colors, right? And this glides really smoothly on here because it's even smoother than the, not smoother, but because it has the glass on top. So anything with glass on that, so you really need a non-porous slippery surface. So tile, glass, metal. They do go on lots of different things, but again, a paper I would not advise because it's just gonna sink right in. So if I were using different tools, then I'd be able to get this like layering effect that's happening. So let's go with, that's mostly dry. Go with some green on here. So that's gonna marble around. Because this is very slippery surface, the beads are gonna run even faster. And you can, like, if you're really into like abstract things, you could, you know, move your tile or your paper around so that you get these almost look like fiddlehead ferns or something. Hold on, you can't see that. Or starting to, if I could pick that up again. Right, if I just add a little bit to the ends, I'll be able to move those again. Right, so you can really start to play with what's happening. Okay, and let's use this crimson. Maybe I just want some shapes. Humans are not great at making things not patterned. Okay. Then I can use something like a sea sponge or just a regular sponge. I don't super love sea sponges because they're harvested from the ocean, so they're not my favorite. Right, and I can add some of that down here, and it's going to bloom a little bit. Let's add a little bit down here. And this, because it's super slippery, let me just, you'll be able to lift it too. If you're like, oh, I don't actually like that one, you can just erase it with your alcohol. And that's similar to the lift ink. So let me just get some more on this. Because this is a spray, I need to spray it onto something and then use it. Otherwise, oh, you know what I could do? Like if I had a little dish of it, I could put like a Q-tip in it. Let me just see if I can get some alcohol on this Q-tip. And I could really start to clean it up. So you can get pretty precise with your erasing, but you get the idea. As I keep doing it. Okay. So let's do, that's mostly dry. That's not dry yet, but okay. So let's try this textured brayer. So because I had the alcohol here, it's really swimming. So this is the textured one. I could just roll. What else do I have? That sponge and this, you saw that. These foam brushes, same idea, like I could take that right off so it's not everything being in the middle. I could do that down here as well, right? I could add that there, add some here, add a bit here, to use that roller again. So you can really start to play with it and see what techniques you like, what colors you like. It's going to pull all of those off too. I need that brush though. So it dries really quickly, right? Like that's already dry. I need to pick up from somewhere else. And the palettes are nice because you can just put a little in the palette. To reactivate, you just use some some alcohol. Maybe I'll just do the whole thing here. They look like little legs with that. What else do you think we need? We don't actually, like, I don't really need to do all of this. Okay. And yeah, so I talked a little bit about safety, right? They are alcohol, so they are flammable. Use some ventilation and use gloves. Like, I wasn't very dirty today, but they are staining. So if you're really concerned about getting pigments on your hands for obvious reasons, because your skin does absorb it, then use gloves, nitrile gloves or something like that. Flammable, no open flames. If the smell of alcohol bugs you, obviously you can't really use them. And then you clean up your tools and everything with the alcohol. You can use a plastic wrap to like make texture designs. So while your ink is wet, you could put it down. So this one's actually pretty dry now, that I could layer even more. It is getting pretty muddy, right? So you can see that maybe having less colors, not maybe, but having less colors will give you better results. Or choosing colors that are in the same side of the wheel, color wheel, I mean, right? So blue, yellow, and green all mixed together nicely. So that you're not going to get some weird like brown. So there it's blooming. I can just spray this too. You could use a dropper, right? If you had a little bit of alcohol in a little container, you could use an eyedropper. Let me get that ready. And you'll get these like cells kind of happening with the spray. Works even better with an eyedropper. You can also use something like a hair dryer. If you have one that has the non-heat, especially for Yupo because it is plastic, like the cool setting. This one doesn't, but let me just, right, you could use it to blow things around as well. But you really want to be careful with heat with your Yupo. It would absolutely work better on the tile. So if you have any questions or comments, put them in the comment section. We do sell a lot of the line of Tim Holtz alcohol inks at Upwards. Our website is upwardsart.com. And my name's Amelia Kramer, and I'm the owner at Upwards Art. And we're located at Heritage Place Shopping Center, right in the middle of the mall, near Center Court, and in Owen Sound, Ontario, Canada. Okay, thanks so much.